March 8th, getting ready for the day before I check into the hospital. March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. See, I'm wearing my green. March 23rd, day 13. And we've seen this scene before here, right? Of me packing to come to the hospital. Well, guess what? Today, I'm packing to leave.
This is the story of Tim Cooper, a 56-year-old black man with multiple myeloma, a rare, incurable blood cancer. Tim, a bright light, a man of faith, is documenting his experience to help others.
It's September 10th at 2 p.m. It's the Bionic Man back again. October 22nd, November 21st. Ready for another week.
And here's the thing about Tim. He brings a far more upbeat, philosophical outlook to a situation than most of us could muster.
I'm no prophet. I'm no great individual in the sense that I'm an average guy. But I think I've been placed in an extraordinary situation that I was meant to deal with. Why not me? And so hopefully whatever I can share with you can help you to move through this process and deal with it and take it one day at a time.
You're listening to the first episode of the Tim Cooper story on Novant Health Healthy Headlines. I'm Gina DePietro, your host. In the year since he became a patient of ours, Tim has graciously invited us into his life, sharing weekly video diaries, stories about his family, his childhood, how he came to be who he is today.
I was born in Harlem, New York City, and we had great experiences there living in the projects. When you hear the projects, ours was called the Lincoln Projects. There's always a negative connotation of what that is. There's a saying that says, because you live in the projects, you have to be of the projects. So it's a lot about a different mindset. And how do you see yourselves and how do you see your values? So it really shaped who we are and our confidence in ourselves today.
I first met Tim at one of his many doctor's appointments. It was a sunny fall afternoon in October 2021.
You go by Timothy then, not Tim?
I'm liking Timothy more now as I get older. I'm growing into it. I hated it as a kid. Timothy, you're in trouble, Timothy. So now I'm really starting to embrace my name. That means to honor God. So all those things are now, again, I'm coming full circle with who I am and what my power is.
He was wearing a white linen shirt, burnt orange shorts, as he walked into Novant Health Cancer Institute in Charlotte, North Carolina. The beautiful weather in stark contrast to what awaited him inside.
Any headache, insomnia?
A little bit of insomnia.
Another round of chemotherapy.
What about nausea?
No. I'm still learning about it. I'm still processing it in my head, obviously, and I have cancer.
But Tim is resilient. He told me, I'm exactly where I should be. Years earlier, he moved from Maryland to North Carolina to be closer to his parents.
My parents, they're getting older.
He took a job managing several restaurants at Raleigh-Durham International Airport. Then came COVID, and like so many others at the time, Tim was furloughed, then let go. Fortunately, he got a similar position at Charlotte Douglas International Airport, which brought him even closer to family. For Tim, it was just the latest example of divine intervention.
If I hadn't been where I was, this occurred. I'd have been in Maryland by myself, no family around. So God had me come to this place to be prepared for this. It's just so humbling and powerful to see how God moves in your life and put you where He needs you to be at the right time.
As a result of his cancer treatment, you'll notice Tim's voice can sound drastically different. And when we meet in person, it might sound muffled since everyone is wearing a mask. You'll also hear a little background noise from time to time, so we appreciate you sticking with us. Now back to Tim, as he reflects on his multiple myeloma diagnosis.
What made this such a coincidence, my mom, Loretta Cooper, was suffering from the same cancer since 2005. So watching her gave me strength to be able to get through the process that I'm going through right now, and knowing that it starts with the will to live. You can make that decision first. How are you going to deal with it? Are you going to let it take over you, or are you going to conquer it with your faith and with your will?
After Tim shared about his mom's cancer, I asked his oncologist, Dr. Patricia Kropf at Novant Health Cancer Institute, if multiple myeloma is hereditary.
It is not considered hereditary, but there is some clustering in families. So there is a small fraction of cases that are familial, and it's an estimated 3 familial cases per 1,000. So there is some clustering, but we still don't consider this a genetic disease.
The hardest part, Tim said, is the loss of independence that comes with fighting a serious disease.
That's what this has been about too. It really stops you in your tracks. You're sitting there and you're thinking you can't really do much. So that's frustrating in itself because you're not independent anymore. I was always independent. Not having to drive a car, just to be able to go. Those little things have been part of the most frustration that I've had. I've gotten past the severe pain, and it was bad in the very beginning. But now that I have very limited pain, and your mind tells you, okay, you're ready to go again, but your body's telling you no.
Yeah.
You should listen to your body. Your body's going to talk to you and tell you, slow down.
But he's determined. He takes everything in stride. It's something I admire most about him. And it hits home. In my own family, there's a high incidence of cancer. My sister Alex overcame ovarian cancer at 26, a potentially life-altering diagnosis for someone who'd always dreamt of becoming a mom. Shortly after, we lost our grandpa, known affectionately as Papa Bear, to a rare blood cancer known as Waldenstrom macroglobulinemia. And in all the years he lived with it, I never heard him complain. My dad, Jerry, inherited that tough-as-nails personality from his dad. He recently overcame a battle with stage 3 colon cancer. And in true DePietro form, he worked and played golf all throughout treatment. Their attitude always left me in awe, and I recognized that same determination, that same grit in Tim.
Feeling good. Got a good report from the doctors this week about my progress. So keep staying encouraged. Feel like $1 million.
I recently joined Tim at another doctor's appointment in Charlotte, and the stakes were high. Tim would learn the initial results of his stem cell transplant 3 months prior.
So today is the big day, dun, 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 to get my results of whether I'm going to be in remission or not. So, a little nerve-wracking.
I'll share those results later. There's also so much else that led up to that anxious day. In fact, Tim came to be a patient of ours because of back pain, something millions of people deal with every day. He was referred to Novant Health spine specialists in Charlotte, where he'd meet neurosurgeon Dr. John Barry Candelario.
The biggest issue is lack or loss of mobility, right? Loss of kind of being able to turn, being able to nod, and being able to kind of swing your neck from side to side when we start to fuse.
That appointment changed everything. Tim didn't just have back pain, he had bone disease, which he'd learn is a devastating complication of multiple myeloma. Bone disease can also cause fractures and mobility issues, and doctors explained it had weakened Tim's spine in several places. He was at risk of becoming paralyzed. That's ahead in episode 2 of the Tim Cooper story on Novant Health Healthy Headlines. I'm Gina DePietro, your host, and I'm humbled to tell Tim's story. If you enjoyed this podcast, leave us a 5-star review or share it with friends. Find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, or just about anywhere you listen to podcasts. And leave Tim a note of encouragement. You'll find his story under Editor's Picks on www.healthyheadlines.org, or use the search feature to type in his name. People can join the discussion at the end of that article, and Tim's responded to many of the comments already. Thanks for listening.